What?
You get this only nowhere else but the Kevin and Zach. Kevin, I'm not going to lie.
Now we're looking at this. A carved penguin. There it is.
Oh, no. Are the O's fine? Are the Orioles fine, Kevin?
It's so embarrassing. I was so embarrassed.
Okay. The Orioles stole it. That game was stolen. It was stolen from them, then they stole it right back.
What?
Oh, my God.
Wait, what's going on? What is happening?
What is going on? Was it a diving play? He bobbled the play.
What is happening? Are they challenging it? No. Other wall. No.
Kevin, I don't know what you saw, how much you saw. I've been chugging champagne. Sure, I spilled a lot, but what a game, man.
He will be the legendary
Birch Fish!
How about that?
Birch Fish fans, stand up. We did it.
What can I say? What can I say?
I mean, let's be honest. We all saw that one coming. Jacob deGrom versus Brandon Young. You hope for the best, but I think we all saw that one coming. Orioles lose 10-2 to the Texas Rangers. Drop game 2 of the 3-game set. It's why you had to win last night. It's why you had to win last night. We talked about it. You felt really good. Felt really good after getting yesterday's win because you just had to find a way to win one of the next two. You didn't really think you were going to win Brandon Young versus Jacob deGrom. Honestly, Jacob deGrom only went 6 innings. If you would have told, I said last night, if you can get him out after just 6, maybe you got a chance. Maybe you got a chance to get something going. They got him out at 6, but unfortunately, 2 runs, kind of more than I thought they were going to get, but wasn't enough as the pitchers give up 10 runs. It's just another game where the Orioles have to bring in a position player to pitch, which I feel like we just have. I feel like once a week, twice a week now that they just do this where we have to throw out a position player because they're getting beat by so much. I mean, just all around bullpen. Can't say I was expecting much from them with how many players they had to use yesterday, but the bullpen is certainly just is not in the great spot going into tonight. And then Bowman, not good at all. 6 hits, 4 earned runs over 1 2/3 innings. Scott Blewett with 1 1/3, 1 hit. He was decent. Gregory Soto, wild as ever. Gregory Soto trying to throw the ball to Gary Sanchez was probably the most entertaining part of the night. They just could not get anything. Let alone in the strike zone. We couldn't stop the ball. Gary Sanchez. And now Gary Sanchez is hurt. Got an MRI on his finger, so we'll see what happens there. They said concern is low, but just yet another catcher. What would this be, 4 or 5? So we'd have Adley. You have Hanley. You have Trump already down. Yeah, so this would be number 4 if Gary had to go down. Not ideal. Not ideal. Just a disappointing game. I mean, you fall back to 11 games under 500. I mean, it's one of those games where it would have been cool if you won, but going into it, versus Jacob deGrom, I mean, he went, 7 no perfect innings versus us last week, or 6 2/3 perfect innings versus us last week. You were just hoping to get him out by the 6th. You did. Still couldn't win it. I mean, they made it 3-2, and that was their opportunity. When they had 3-2, and honestly, I'll say it, if they, in the 7th inning, when they got the first 2 guys on for singles, and I thought Seti, it looked like maybe he was going to get that blooper to fall from Garcia. If that little opportunity was capitalized on, it felt like maybe if they got another hit, another just something, they could have made something out of it. And I didn't get bringing in Bowman here at all. I mean, I get they didn't have many other options out there with just how down horrendously this bullpen was. But, yeah, once it was 3-2, it felt like that was your opportunity to strike. And they just couldn't get it done. Like, it was done after that. And then they bring in Latz, who pitched the entire rest of the game, 7th, 8th, and 9th, which really helps the Rangers going into the next game, because if our bullpen looked rough, theirs was even rougher. They had 4 straight extra inning games. You felt like this was an opportunity. If you could get deGrom out in the 6th, make them use 2 or 3 or 4 relievers if it's a close game, felt like you really set yourself up for an advantage yesterday. But at the end of the day, Rangers win this one 10-2. Nothing much to it. They got to win the game tomorrow. I mean, you knew they were either had to sneak a win out today and surprise everyone, or tomorrow was a must-win. And once again, tomorrow's a must-win. We talk about it all the time here. It's now July 1st, and we are playing playoff baseball in Baltimore, because if they want any chance of ever climbing back into this thing, they have to win pretty much every series. Every series from here on out has to be a win. So see what happens. We got Evaldi versus Sugano on the mound tomorrow. Just a tough game. And now you're stuck with tomorrow being must win ahead of the series against the Braves. Going through the box score real fast. Holiday 0 for 4, Laureano 0 for 4. I mean, 0 for 8 in your top 2. Usually you're not going to have a great game. Gunnar gets 1 for 4. O'Hearn 1 for 3. Gary 1 for 3 with the big 2-run shot. Eventually was taken out of the game. I mean, I guess Jacob Stallings might be the new starting catcher if something's wrong with Gary. So I guess Jacob Stallings, welcome to the team. Colton Cowser 1 for 3. Urias 2 for 4. Mullins 1 for 3. Loved Mullins' bunt single. And, yeah, I mean, Jason, if you lose the series tiebreaker tomorrow, yeah, so at least get the tie, so make it go a little bit past that. But, yeah, if you lose tomorrow, you also lose the series tiebreaker, which means you have to be 1 game ahead of them. Man. Tough game pretty much all around. I mean, Brandon Young, 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Not the greatest, not the worst. Like, if you told me, I mean, the 4 innings is what really sucks, would have honestly probably let Young, I get that it was the heart of the order, and they didn't want him going up against that again. If you could have gotten 5 innings of 3-run ball out of Young, I felt like that was ideal. But at the end of the day, And that's what it is. Like this game going into it, Brandon Young versus Jacob deGrom, I wasn't feeling great. I was honestly, it was just kind of hoping on a miracle. Didn't happen. Now they just have to get him tomorrow. They have to get him tomorrow. Would love it. Bring Francisco back. He and see what Caleb Joseph are up to. If you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Go live after every single Orioles game. Another disappointing game. And a season that's been filled with disappointing games. It feels like we sit here pretty often talking about this. But, I mean, the goal was to win this series. Still ahead of them. Yeah, tomorrow's a must win. But the goal of winning the series is still in front of them, but they have to do it. They have to. They're not in a spot where they can go into these games or into these series and come out 1-2. You know, you can't take any series for granted because, as Kevin says, even if you split, you have to, like, that is a waste of a series. Like, it's a waste of a series if you split 4 games. It's a waste of a series if you go down 1-2. They have to pretty much win or sweep every single series to make this even semi-competitive in September. I mean, if this team wants to have any sort of hope of even being in the hunt, in the thought of being in the hunt in September, then they gotta find a way to win this series. Tomorrow, they then have to win the series against the Braves. The Mets are struggling, and then weirdly enough, the Mets and the Marlins, you'd probably be like, about 2 weeks ago, you'd be like, shit, the Mets, they're going to whoop our ass. Hopefully, you know, don't get swept there, then go sweep the Marlins. Marlins have won 8 straight games. Like, the Marlins have won 8 straight games, are now actually ahead of the Braves in the NL East. So, did not see that coming. Mets have just been on an absolute downfall recently. So, over the next, I guess that would be 10 games? I don't know, is the Marlins? No. Yeah, so they have 10 games before the All-Star break. In the chat, if you're watching along in the chat, Orioles' next 10 games, what do you think is the minimum? I'm going to say they have to go 7-3. Have to go 7-3. Have to win tomorrow to win the Ranger series. You have to win 2 of 3, at least some resemblance of winning 2 of 3 the rest of the way out. If you lose 2 to, you know, the Braves, you have to sweep one of these teams. But if they want to consistently stick in this thing, they have to go 7-3. This is the reality of where they're at. They can't go 5-5. Can't even really go 6-4 because 6-4 only gains you 2 games on 500. So that's 10 games to gain 2 games. It's not what they are. It's not what's going to help them. So if they realistically want to climb back into this thing whatsoever, so what if they went 7-3? That would gain 4 games on 500. So they go into the All-Star break 7 games below. I mean, I don't even know if 7 games below is even, I mean, that sort of brings you closer, but then out of the gate in the All-Star break, you got 3 games in Tampa. They got 4-game series in Cleveland. So 7 games immediately after the All-Star break that are not fun. 7 games that honestly, right out of the All-Star break, the O's could be looking at a 2-5 start out of the break. So you got to go 7-3, somehow 8-2 if you want any sort of good feeling going into the All-Star break. And then immediately right after, you're in 2 dogfights because, man, we talk about the Rays always have scrappy teams that go out there, find ways to win. I mean, hell, we've played them 7 times already this season. They are just a team that does not go away. Same with the Cleveland Guardians. I mean, the Cleveland Guardians, that is a team 1 through 9 that is just filled with guys that find ways on base. They're going to take the extra base. They're going to find little ways to beat you. Cleveland, it's not a fun place to play. So I'd have to go play 3 against Tampa and then go immediately on the road against the Guardians. That's not an easy task coming out of the break whatsoever. So if you're the Orioles going final 10 games before the break, you got to go 7-3. Like 7-3 is the bare minimum just to give yourself a chance. 6-4, I mean, that just gets you to 9 games? Below 500, you're just sitting in the water kind of floating at that point. I mean, if they want any sort of hope, if they want this fan base to have any sort of hope, they talk about, wanting fans in the seats and, we want more people at the ballpark and stuff. You got to keep it competitive and you got to keep it close. Because if you're sitting 10 games under 500 still, like let's say they go 6-4 over their next 10, you're sitting at 9 games below 500 going into the break. People aren't feeling good about that. I mean, why would people want to start coming to, the average fan that hasn't been much this season? They're not going to want to go to the park to see a team that's, floundering, that's selling off all their good players. The only bright spot to the team is they might be forced to bring up Samuel Basallo right now because they physically don't have anyone else that can put on the catching gear and go back there. It has been a season to say the least, and I mean, 37-48. If you would have told people for the season this team was 37-48, I would think a lot of shit hit the fan, and honestly, it has. Eflin on the IL, then obviously today that Trump was anything special. But him adding to the IL is not much. This team, just the IL is unbelievable. Jorge Mateo was rehabbing his arm injury in Norfolk and I guess strained his hamstring and is now out 8 to 12 weeks. That is how the Orioles season's going. We have guys getting hurt with new injuries on rehab. Like not even like the old injuries coming back where it's like, maybe they rushed it. Maybe just new freak injuries happening. Like this team can't escape the injury bug no matter how hard they try. No matter what they do, this team just can't escape the injury bug. And I know people talk about like the strength and conditioning coach and the trainers. Like they've also just had freak injuries. Like things like Jorge Mateo and them running into each other. Handley, obviously, just getting helicoptered by Jazz Chisholm. They've just had freak injuries. Just everywhere. I mean, Grayson Rodriguez going into the season. We never even saw Grayson pitch this year. Probably won't see. They're out of it. I don't think they bring up Bradish or Wells unless it's just to get, some work in late in the season. So this season, it just feels like every turn you make this season, it gets uglier and uglier. Whether it's guys not living up to potential, whether it's another guy going down, whether it's, guys unable to find it, it just feels like this team is the bad news bears at sometimes. A loss like tonight honestly doesn't really encompass it because they just got beat tonight. Like that was just 1-2 was 3-0. You felt like the game was pretty much over. So not going to put too much into tonight. That happens. You sent Brandon Young out there against Jacob deGrom. Wasn't expecting much. How many games? Does anyone know in the chat how many games the Orioles have had a position player pitch in? Someone's got to know. We'll go to Twitter for this. See if we see if old Twitter now. Anything. Not saying anything. Anyone? Yeah, it feels like 37. It feels like 37 at this point. This every other game, it feels like Luis Vasquez, he now has 4 innings pitched, or I guess these 4 appearances, 3 and a third innings pitched, and just what a time. 0 ERA, 3 damn double plays. I mean, is Luis Vasquez? Luis F. Vasquez, baby. Luis F. Vasquez. Maybe this is the guy we were promised. You know? This is the Luis Castillo. Everyone wanted Luis Castillo. You get Luis Vasquez. Luis Vasquez. Damn. And then he literally has a 0 ERA for his career, which is good for him. Just Luis Vasquez actually has a lot. Yeah, three innings only. Wow. What a game. What a guy. Got the out. I had to throw him on an ace card. Someone had to. Yeah, joining me to talk semi about this. Just in a second. He's coming on to talk about this. Yeah, it's got to be Kevin in a second. You know. Luis F. Castillo, one of the best I guess trades, live reaction trades we've had in a while. Now coming on, we have Kevin Ostrecker. Kevin, we have to get rid of the hat where we keep losing. We lost. We're on 1.
I just got it. I can't get rid of it. I need to fix my mic. I know it's bad. I just got it. I can't get rid of it.
Kevin, how are we feeling after Jacob deGrom 10-2? Another day in the office.
I mean, I said I didn't expect them to win against deGrom, but to have that happen.
Another game with the position.
I know it's embarrassing. Like it's embarrassing. I mean, it's honestly a terrible look. Like it is a horrible, horrible, horrible look.
I keep trying to find how many times.
It's at least 5. It might be at 5. I wouldn't be shocked if it was 4. I think it's anywhere from 4 to 5. Right? I think it's 4 or 5. I'm pretty sure.
No, because let's think. So Luis Vasquez has been on 3 times himself. We've had Gary Sanchez. We've had
Rivera.
So that's 5 right there.
Yeah. I think it's
got to be 7. It's got to be like 7 because I know we're forgetting things early in the year.
I think it's 5. That sounds right. Vasquez 3, Rivera 1, maybe Rivera 2. Maybe it was 2 for Rivera. I'm not sure. Oh, did Mateo pitch?
Yep.
Okay, so 6.
That's at least 6. I'm trying. I've been looking early in the year. Did we not?
I mean, it's been 3 in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's all been Rivera. Or it's all been Vasquez past 2 weeks.
But I mean,
Wait, here's how I'll do it. I got to look at the Orioles.
yeah, just look at their pitching. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't. There are so many.
Oh, here we go. So we've had Manuel Rivera, Jorge Mateo, Gary Sanchez, each with 1. Luis Vasquez is now 3, so that's that. Maybe it has just been 6 times. Really? I could have sworn it was more. All right. Am I? Albert Suarez hasn't pitched this season, right?
I thought he did. Didn't he pitch once or twice? Or was he?
He pitched, it says, once. But
Yeah, I thought he pitched. That's what I thought.
I don't know why. Yeah. Was he in the 8-2? Oh, it was out of the bullpen. That's what it was. I was like, he was never in the rotation. That's what it was. Yeah, he did pitch once. Because I was like, I do not remember him ever starting this year. He did. He got that one. Man, this is – the Orioles are having some tough –
I mean, you can salvage it in a way tomorrow. But, I mean, it doesn't make tonight any less embarrassing. I mean, sure, I penciled this in for a loss because of DeGrom, but it's embarrassing the way it happened, and now you got to go against Evaldi. And
I mean, they had a chance 3-2.
Yeah. I don't get why Bowman was in the game for so long. I mean, I clearly do. I mean,
yeah,
I understand the reason why they did it. I don't agree with the reason. I mean, I think that with an off day Thursday, you can manage to stretch your bullpen out a little bit more there, but I mean, it was an extra inning game last night. I still think that you could have, it clearly wasn't working for Bowman, and I think they just kind of gave up. At least,
I mean, it felt like
after the homer, it should have been it, and it just kind of spiraled from there. So,
yeah. And then, I mean, insult to injury, the one guy who even gets you any run support, Gary Sanchez, although he's been atrocious defensively, he now has to get an X-ray on his thumb.
Yeah, it's just, hey, we should come on here every night. Hey, which Orioles catcher got injured tonight?
That's pretty much what it is. Oh, James McCann just hit a long ball. That's cool.
Oh man,
this is a this has been a day. It's been a day. It felt like this game started years ago, and we had Holiday rung up on that just kind of atrocious call that should have been ball 4, and ever since, like, it just slowly started slipping away. Like, we got it. I loved Cedric Mullins' bunt. Like, it felt like the vibes at some point tried to get up there. Like, they made it 3-2. You felt like, hey, maybe you put something together, get him out by the 6th inning. If it's still 3-2, you got something cooking. No, they get him out and it's 7-2. And at that point, it's over. Like, there was no coming back from that whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh my God. Is your Twitter acting slow?
Yeah.
Like, you can't even type a word in?
It's been atrocious all day.
It's horrible. Trying to find a video.
What are you looking for? Oh, Tony hit another homer, number 30. Yeah, first and second, no buyout in the 7th. I was talking about earlier. Massive missed opportunity. I thought versus Lats, maybe they hadn't. With Cedric up, I thought his blooper actually fell for a second. If that would have fallen, we'll have had bases loaded, no outs, technically the tying run on deck. and it would have been the top of the lineup. At that point, you can just chip away. You don't even need to get everything in that inning, even if you just get 2 or 3. You feel a whole lot better. But classic Orioles fashion just this year, they didn't do anything. It was fly out, strikeout, something like that. I think it was 2 flyouts, but just overall disappointing. Disappointing that they couldn't do anything with their limited opportunities. Not that it would have even mattered in the 10-2 game. Also, Steven, appreciate you joining the channel.
Appreciate you. Sorry, I'm trying to break hearts on Twitter. 1 second.
What are you trying to do?
I'm tweeting Lee Evans, Billy Cundiff.
Is it an anniversary? Why?
Because I haven't tweeted anything today. I need to tweet something.
Had to send that out before.
Yeah.
Gotta keep the algorithm going.
It works. It works.
It does.
All right, do we want to play a game of higher or lower?
Yeah.
Higher or lower? Tomo gives up 3 runs in the first inning tomorrow.
Yeah, after the first inning, he usually settles in. It's literally just hopefully he can find it. Hopefully tomorrow we can find it. And Kyle, appreciate you. Can people stop asking for Samuel to be called up? The Orioles luck in catching injuries. Why even want him up? Mateo will catch before the call up. Yeah, I mean, Mateo, unfortunately, now on the IL. But yeah, I don't think Basayo should be up in the slightest right now. I think you just got to let him continue to develop in the minor leagues. Maybe in a month or so, if he's still pounding on the door, then we can think about it. But I think right now you're still at the point where Sam Basayo, this season, you cannot allow this season to put pressure on you to rush him up and mess up his development and his long-term potential, because you're trying to salvage a season that probably isn't salvageable.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep flip-flopping, I mean, we talked about it. They can't keep flip-flopping. I mean, just you can't do it. So it's put up or shut up time.
Oh, that's for sure. Kevin, I'm going to put the link for call-ins.
Okay.
And
yeah.
And like we talked about last time, we actually didn't even get to use it. We're going to start trying to be better with getting call-ins sort of refined and, under some sort of better structure. So, Kevin, we have what do we say, a 4-minute timer?
Yeah, 4 to 5 minute timer.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll catch the vibes. So, don't have to use all of it. It's there just so that we can keep things.
We want to try to get it in between radio call-ins and, if you've seen part in the interruption, where, there'll be a topic that's discussed for 2 minutes or a minute and a half, and then, the buzzer goes off like, duh, and then, you say your final thoughts, right? We're not going to just kick you off after 4 minutes.
Yeah, this isn't going to be, there's not going to be buzzer goes off, you're kicked off. We're not. We're just trying to get some sort of, I guess, structure in here, because we have no structure and we're bad at doing that stuff.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we can get everybody. Yeah. To our credit, Zach, we've gotten better. We
have our days of like 35-minute ones have sort of passed, but
sort of.
We've got our first call. We got Arkansas Joe. Joe, how's it going?
Joe, what's up?
Man, look, it's the Twins.
Finally, I've only been asking for this for a year now. I mean, it's about time, right?
It's time to sponsor the show now.
Hey, next step. Can you believe, Joe? This is actually the same hat. Zach just wears his so much.
I know, it's so sun. That's how it looks.
I believe it. Yeah. I wear hats every day, so everyday hat.
Zach just has a lot of love in it. That's what it is.
That's what it is. A lot of love, and you never wash a good hat. It's bad luck.
You can't.
I'm gonna cherish this for the rest of my life.
It looks like the cowboy. You know the meme with the big hat. That hat looks humongous on your head.
I know. I've been trying to adjust it to make it look less big.
It looks like an adult hat on a 12-year-old child.
Yeah,
It does. It literally does.
You know, I'm trying to make it work.
It looks like the big hats that the NFL players are wearing, but it's like a slightly smaller.
You know what? We need to get one of those. The big white.
I've been saying it for a while. I would wear a Ryan Ripken Show big hat out anywhere.
Do it, yeah. You know what? Next step right there.
I mean, maybe you'll get it when we get our shirts. So, you know.
Yeah.
True.
Actually, I can confirm those are coming. I saw Ryan putting the packages together, so I can confirm.
Wow.
Before I could not. I can confirm now. They are on the way.
Putting the work in. But yeah, it's still blazing hot here, fellas. So it's been crazy. But you know, we surviving.
We survived.
Short work week.
Gotta love it.
Orioles were the Orioles tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
It is what it is. And we move forward. Might get a good game tomorrow.
Maybe, hopefully.
They need it. I mean, if they can win a series, they can salvage it. So
if there's DraftKings lines on who the catcher will be next week, Karen Vavra. Put it in the books.
Might as well.
That would, Cooper Hum will bring him back.
He's on another team, Kevin.
Yeah, he's producing actually on the.
Well,
Astros
maybe they
now.
can trade. Maybe they can trade for him.
I keep updated with my boy Cooper.
Austin Slater.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there we go.
Can't
There
say
we
that name on
go.
this show.
That's what I'm
Austin
talking
Slater.
about. Bring him
Can't
back.
say that name on this show, Joe. He's banned.
But how about we bring Trey Mancini home?
I would love it.
That'd be a feel-good story. I mean,
I know everyone's talking about, where's he going to play? I don't know. Just get him in there. Especially if you're going to trade Brian O'Hearn and them eventually, you might as well.
I say it. Bring him home. Why not? Let him
Might as well.
Let him end it where it started. Because I don't think he's going to play next year. He just wants one last ride like Ray Lewis. So
Yeah,
why not?
maybe. We'll see what happens, but that's
we
going to
shall
be.
see.
And we haven't lost 55, 56 games yet. So there's still that small chance we go on a large run and win 108.
They just have
It's
to
not
win.
over till it's over. It's not over till it's over.
They would have to win what? They can lose 7 more games. So,
That's
hey,
one game. Hey,
never know,
let's get it
Joe.
over with by the All-Star break and just win every one after the break.
I like it. Just go on a run and see what happens.
Boom.
Joe, appreciate you as always, my friend.
I've never done it, but Alan Mills.
Oh,
Good one.
okay.
All right.
Okay.
I got to think about it.
I
Can't be caught
forget.
off
I
guard,
forget
man.
every time. I have to remember.
Okay, so does
Hey,
Kevin. It's okay.
There's a first time for everything. Let's go. Love it.
See you
Awesome.
next time.
Appreciate
fellas.
you, Joe.
All right, Joe. Appreciate you.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what happens with Trey Mancini. I know he opted out of his minor league deal with the Diamondbacks today, batting .364 on the year in AAA. I mean, they might as well. What else? What else are you going to do? Especially if we're going to trade off O'Hearn and them. Like, we've talked about this multiple times. I think I don't think you necessarily have to give Trey anybody's at bats. Like, I would not put Trey in over Kobe, but
It's just you need vibes.
get Trey back in here, man. It's just, man, between McCann, it just feels like these guys would just stay. Now, I'm not saying Trey Mancini would have been on this team in a competitive state, but I think guys you look back on like a James McCann, you feel like maybe hindsight's 2020, but especially with the injuries, you really feel like maybe a week ago when he opted out of his deal or he had the option to talk to teams while he was still in AAA with the Braves, maybe a guy they should have called,
I remember talking about it forever. Pretty no-brainer.
Yeah. And Kevin, happy July 1st. It's officially trade talk season.
Thank you. I did wish that to you about 24 hours ago, but Thank you for the kind.
Yeah, well, I was doing it again because it was going to segue into the next part of if the Orioles are still hover around this. I mean, we are now less than a month away from. We do not know who's going to be on this ball club. Genuinely, we have no idea, and it doesn't just stop at the Cobe or at the Mullins and the O'Hearns. It's guys like Sir Anthony Dominguez, like Gregory Soto. Those two can get you nice hauls. It's guys like Charlie Morton, maybe Sagano if he, bounces back. It's
we'll see. I mean, I think we're still in agreement that they're gonna have to sell off some way, shape, or form. So
yeah, they have to.
I definitely tweeted today. That's really awkward.
Yeah, I went back and looked at because I saw your thing. I was like, I definitely saw you tweet.
Yeah, that's really awkward. Oh well.
Oh
well.
It happens. It happens. Kevin, I'm going to give another few minutes to give another minute or so to see if anyone else pops up.
I think Rick said to put the subscribe link up. It logged me out. Can you throw that in the? Do you know how to do that?
The subscribe link.
Yeah, you go to memberships, monetization, or it might be monetization, memberships, and then there'll be a link to copy, like invite people.
All right. I'll figure it out. All right. But while I'm doing that,
we got another. Let's get the timer back up.
Yep. So while we're doing that, we got our guy Stephen behind the scenes. Stephen,
what's going on, man?
Apparently not an Orioles victory tonight, but we can close the series out tomorrow with a win if our pitching holds up.
Yeah, I hope.
They need it.
It's a veritable who's who at this point.
With all the injuries, yeah.
Especially behind the plate now. It might get a very messy who's who behind the plate if these injuries keep stacking up.
There's definitely a case to bring Basayo up because at this point a body's a body. And eventually you are going to run into that problem where are we going to start hurting prospects just because, we're simply out of people up here,
Yeah, it's interesting. Who, Zach, do you know who the next, I don't know if you talked about it before I got on, who the next man up? Steven, do you know, either of you, who the next man up
No, it's literally, I think it's going to, they had to bring up Stallings. They just signed Stallings because they were limited. I mean, here.
I mean, is there anybody even left? I mean,
I'm going to look up
Basayo, but that's just it. You'd bring him up just as depth at this point.
Yeah, I mean, David Benuelos, he's probably the next man up. I mean, we're probably that's.
I haven't heard anything positive about him yet, but
I mean, he's been up a few times for just, I guess, backup catching, but he has not had a long. He's been here for like a at bat or two or a defensive replacement here and there. I don't know about consistently what he can do. I'm looking up the Bay Sox roster as well. Yeah, I don't see them bringing up Creed Willems or anything, so it's probably going to be Benuelos.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll see that move happen tomorrow, but Benuelos, I would agree, is the guy, unfortunately. And that's rough to say. It's just at this point we're supposedly on the other side of our rebuild. And we've got maybe 2.5 players to show for it that are really that we can go like, oh yeah, that's a dude. And it's just, what happened? You kind of wonder why it's snowballed to this point.
There are a lot of different.
You want to say, like the big question is, did we make some bad hires on the coaching front, or is it just like on the coaching front? Is it just are they just young and are having to learn on the fly? Like kind of Hyde was, and I think Elias is too. but you can't afford to have people learn on the fly on the other side of your rebuild. You kind of need those people who've been there and done that before already in place. Like, okay, yeah, we can't, this is not acceptable. This is no longer acceptable. We're on the other side. Let's do X, Y, Z.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's a good point where it's like, how long of a runway do you give these guys before, other decisions have to be made? Because you can't, we all say, oh, this is a 10-year window they have. Well, we've seen windows shut and open very quickly. The door opens and the door closes like that sometimes. So you got to be careful.
You heard a lot this offseason. Don't become the Orioles have a real shot to become the next Blue Jays, and not in a good way either. It's they had such a big, promising young core too, like we have, and it's what have they done for us? What have they done for them lately? They tried to supplement. The only difference between them and us is they tried to supplement with pieces from the outside on long-term deals, and we haven't yet to do that. So we're just prospect-wise, we're right there with them. Just what have they done for us? Gunnar Henderson, up until yesterday, had hit a home run had hit one other home run in about 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, and it was off of a position player, so not really even the most,
It's just, I kind of wonder if it is these coaches, and if, like, in the minor leagues, they're tearing it up. Clearly something's working down there, and somehow that's getting lost in translation from their graduation from the minor leagues to here, and somehow you're just scratching your head like maybe it is at this point these coaches where you're just like, are they not able to continue this development at a point where you're happy with it?
Yeah, and I think that is, as we talk about going into next year and the coaching staff and what's going to happen, I think that's something you have to look into is, I think a lot of things are philosophical from the top down, starting with Mike Elias and Zig Meindl, but I think there is something about these coaches, where is the development? Where is, I don't think it's lost that Mabry comes in and suddenly in the 1 month that he's officially here, they became one of the best teams hitting with runners in scoring position. I don't think that just is a coincidence. It's one thing if it's like, oh, they just, start doing it a few weeks or, a month or so after. It is very clear, within a week of him getting there, suddenly everyone was like, okay, there's a different approach. There's a different vibe up at the plate. They're doing more. And it feels like those were, and then I saw stats about them with runners in scoring position in June, and they were pretty much top 3 or 4 in every category in the majors. So it is one of those things where I wouldn't put it past that maybe coaching is what's letting them down.
I kind of wonder. I've been wondering about the Mabry thing for a minute. That was a good move, but I wonder if that was more Elias had that guy in the bag already and knew, or if he had or if the owners had a conversation with him and said, "Hey, we know of this guy. Go get him. You need to do this. Now and fix this expeditiously. This offense ain't working. Do something."
Yeah.
I kind of think it's a combination of both. But I'll go back to a comment I made a week or so ago. Oh, to be a fly on the room in those front offices right now. Good Lord.
Oh yeah, I would love to see, especially those conversations about the trades and who to keep, who to go, who to extend, all that. I would love to know what they're thinking right now.
I kind of back to the coaches real quick. How do we think that affects them going into the trade deadline in terms of who they can move, who they can, for example, if they do go get prospects, can we trust that with this current coaching staff, they can successfully continue development of players they get up here in the trade deadline, regardless of who it is? I've been wondering that myself.
Yeah. There are a lot of different avenues for them. Again, I think they need to in some way, shape, or form, they need to move off of some guys. But it's just like I think that you still have pieces that could potentially be traded that can help you win. This is not like they need to trade everybody for high A 20-year-old prospects, and this is a retooling that they would need to do here. So that's the conversation.
Like, of course, like I know, for example, Cedric, the obvious one, the Astros are like, hey, let's go we want him, give him here. It's just, all right, who would you want from the Astros that could, help you near term and into next year, especially if you look to go to the playoffs next year, which of course we do. Every team does every year, but more so a team supposedly on the side of its window. It's just, who can Cedric get you right now? And there's a couple names that are floated around, but even then, can Cedric fetch you that guy that you would want? I don't think so. I think maybe he gets you like a 25th level or 25th ranked prospect currently. Yeah. Like if he goes on a heater, of course. But same with like O'Hearn, for example. I think he could fetch you something nice, but from a contending team. Like, again, like we could really win the deadline, but also go like, oh, well, we won the deadline and they'll do good in the minor league system. But at the same time, you go, well, crap, they got to come up here with these coaches and we don't know how long they're going to be here. And if the next manager we get's going to bring in his own coaches, he's going to want to, but I'm pretty sure this front office is going to go, no, we're sticking with our guys here. So it all goes back to what can we do? What can we believe these coaches can do versus what they can actually do with the guys we are going to get at the trade deadline. So.
Yeah, I think in this trade deadline is going to be interesting because with guys like Cedric, with guys like O'Hearn, you got to get guys that are ready, and you're not going to get teams number ones. You're not going to get their number twos. Those guys aren't going to fetch those top line guys. And then, it comes with the coaches. How are you going to have them develop guys, not even necessarily in AAA, but have, you set it up for next year and, going forward. Because it isn't just about this year. They have to look forward to 26 as well. But Steven, appreciate you calling in, my guy.
Appreciate you, man.
And we'll talk to you next time. Hopefully after an Orioles win.
Let's get a win on the books here so we can talk about
it. Go O's, baby. But win or lose, go O's. You got to ride or die.
Right.
Go O's. Appreciate you, Steven. We'll catch you,
Steven.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this deadline, and like Steven said, I would love to be a fly on the wall in those discussions because, like, what the hell are you even talking about as this is going down? You're like, it's got to be they're tough discussions to have, and definitely, I don't think it's a comfortable discussion to have for anyone in that room right now, knowing that, hey, we might have to sell, and people could be losing jobs if we keep selling, and it gets worse. So
a lot of tough decisions are about to have to be made here in the next less than a month. So
that's for sure.
Yeah, happy July 2nd, by the way.
Yeah, happy July 2nd. And Kevin, you got anything else?
No. Just the DeGrom loss kind of felt expected to me. You go out there, win the series, and you can head to Atlanta with your head held high. At least,
you have to win tomorrow.
Higher than it is right now.
You have to. You have to win tomorrow. Tomorrow's a must win. You got 10 games left before the break. You need to go 7-3 at worst in that stretch to feel any sort of good going in. But it all starts tomorrow. We'll be back at it after tomorrow's game. Tomoyuki Sagano on the mound versus Nathan Eovaldi, the guy the Orioles got versus the guy a lot of Orioles fans wanted in the offseason. So Orioles lose a tough one tonight, 10-2. Jacob deGrom outduels Brandon Young. Who could have seen that coming? But we'll be back at it tomorrow as the Orioles take on the Rangers in a rubber match. and I guess to conclude the season series. So we'll be back at it probably around 11 o'clock. And Faisal saying, look for an Orioles win tomorrow. If the jersey is unbuttoned, we got
Let's
the
go.
win in
Let's
the
go.
book. So let's lock it in. Let's lock it in. Appreciate you all. And we'll catch you next time. Cesar Torres.
Pat Connaughton, shout out, new contract.
Good for him. Homer.
That was